We touching paper for real niggas rapping pretend.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sherelle. I do cruelty-free beauty and vegan lifestyle videos here on YouTube. And I wanted to give you a quick list of ways to go plant-based or ways to go vegan. I get a lot of questions here about it. I have been vegan for 4 years now. Before that, I was vegetarian for about 10 years. And I can say it's definitely a process, especially if you have not done your research. It will definitely be a little harder on yourself if you have not done the proper research. That's going to be able for you to sustain your lifestyle as well. So I'm going to give you some tips, some things that I've learned over the years. I decided to go vegetarian when I turned, I think I was 17. Because I was in college. I was 17 years old, and I had a conversation with my uncle, and he was like, you know, I feel like you're going to go vegetarian. He said, I feel like you're going to go vegan one day. And I was like, vegan? That's too hard. What's vegan? And he explained to me what vegan was. And I thought about it over years, but it was very hit and miss here and there, very seldomly. I decided to turn vegan when my mom was diagnosed with stomach cancer. I was like, enough is enough. I read a lot of things saying that what you will get in life and what the diseases that you have in life are due to what you eat. And I just decided to try it. I felt as though I was not missing out on anything, especially if I was going to feel better in my body. One of the main concerns for me going vegan was I remember David and I had lasagna one night, and I was doubled over in pain. I could not figure out what it was. I would go to the bathroom, nothing's coming out. And finally I got to the root of it. I realized I was lactose intolerant. And to me, I was like, well, I don't even really eat cheese. I don't have milk. I don't like have things like that. But that was the one thing that kept me vegetarian. I wanted to be able to have my pizzas and stuff. But then I thought to myself, Sherelle, is it even worth it? Is it worth being in so much pain to constantly have cheeses in my diet and being in pain when I had them? So I decided to cut them out, and ever since I haven't gone back. Lactose intolerant, a lot of us are lactose intolerant, especially in the Black community. We are lactose intolerant. We're the only mammal species that drinks milk from someone other than our own mother. So that's something that also hit home, and we're grown adults drinking milk. Milk is actually not required in our diet, which is pretty funny. And yeah, if you don't believe me, do your research, but I can give you some of my top tips for you guys. Number one, I would decide on why. What is the why? What does why mean to you for deciding to go vegan or even vegetarian? I welcome vegetarians as well. That's a great step in the right direction. But you have to think to yourself, what is the why? Am I doing it for my health, or am I doing it for the animals? Am I doing it for the environment? But you want that why to stick with you, so even in the hard times, you still stick to your guns and say, I'm not going to have any animal byproducts. I'm not going to go to In-N-Out, and obviously if I'm in that space, I'm going to want a burger. I'm not going to go to McDonald's and want, you know, the chicken McNuggets or whatever it is that you're there for. So decide on your why, stick to your why, and know that that why means something to you. First, for me, it was for my health. And then second, I realized, wow, it is for the animals as well. I looked down at my dog and I was like, what's the difference between my dog Cuba and the chicken on the side of the road? Nothing. It's just really perception. So my why, I decided to stick to my why. My why led to other things as well. So decide on your why. Next, number two, with anything, I always say this, do your research. Research is very important. Knowledge is power. We hear that all the time, right? Knowledge is power and ignorance is bliss. So I decided to equip myself with everything. I went out and I bought some cookbooks, and I bought vegetarian cookbooks. I was a vegetarian so long that I knew what things I could take out of my diet and replace out with to make it vegan. And the longer you're vegan, the more comfortable you get with certain things. So I did that for myself. One of the cookbooks that I really loved, especially because my husband at the time was not a vegan, was Rachel Ray, and I would decide on how to make my portion of the meal vegan. So I would make him his food, you know, his proteins, and then I would do whatever else on the side for myself. So do your research and equip yourself with great books that you can read. I have a good juicing book. I have a good vegan book. My uncle gave it to me. I can't remember the name off the top. I have them over there, so I can try to list them down below if I can't remember. Yeah, but equip yourself, do your research. PETA.org, PETA2.org is also great if you guys need some inspiration. Pinterest is huge. I love Pinterest. If you guys want any ideas on Pinterest, head over to mine. Some of my things are vegetarian, but I know how to veganize things as well. Especially in this modern day world, you have so many resources to making things vegan. So why not try? Number 3 tip would be transition slow. Especially if you're coming from a heavily meat-based diet, I would suggest to you transition slow. Now, if that's replacing one meal at a time to be vegan or one item in your meal to be vegan at a time, that is great. We have vegan mayos now. There are substitutes, meat substitutes that you can do. If you don't like them, you can also do beans. Beans are very hearty, very filling, a lot of fiber, protein in them. So they're all good things. You could find smoothies too if you are kind of nervous on certain things and you're nervous about your nutrition. There's some great vegan smoothie brands that you can try as well. So that might be something for you, but I would suggest transition slow. If it's one meal a day, one meal a week, you will get there. There's no time limit on your progression and your progress. You set the pace of it. If this is something that you want to do, you will find a way to do it and make it work for you. So I would suggest transitioning slow. I find that when people say they did do the transition slow method, they stayed at it longer. Find your go-to meals, you know? And my tip number 4 is find your go-to meals, whether it be cooking at home or going out in the world, the not so vegan world. Find your go-to items. Taco Bell has a great way to veganize. The people there are actually quite helpful. I've gone to a couple in Long Beach and they are more than willing to help you. They can show you nutritional facts. You can even go online and it'll show you what you can do for whatever's on that menu. So I would say do your research and have your go-to meals. For me, some of my go-to meals, I love burritos. I love burrito bowls. I love sushi. So those are all ways to help you veganize the foods in your diet. I don't eat out too often, and when I do, I try to find vegan friendly meals. If you live and are so blessed to live in cities that are vegetarian or plant-based friendly, kudos to you. Find your go-to restaurants. Anybody that lives in Long Beach, I used to live in Long Beach. One of my favorite places was Bluebird Sushi. Head over there. They have great vegan sushi over there. And they also have ramen or ramen, however you want to say it. Noodles, really, really good. There's a lot of, in those little smaller inner city pockets, they have some great places for a plant-based diet. So head on over there. There's steamed also over there. There's Ahimsa. Try to find, you can even go online and find the Eventbrite. Eventbrite has different things that you could sign up to go to vegan fests. So that's what I like to do in my downtime with David. I'm going to bring up, as you can probably hear Denver in the background, I'm going to bring him up vegan as well. And then when he gets, old enough to choose for himself, he can decide if he wants to be vegan or eat meat if that's what he chooses. So, yeah, just do your research, find your go-to meals, find your go-to places to eat out because you know you will be in your bubble. And my last tip is be kind. We were not all raised vegans. We were not all raised vegetarian. We were not raised with the knowledge that we have right now. So be kind to yourself, be kind to your neighbors. I know when you decide to go vegan and you saw those videos or you saw the research and you saw this, you become like a warrior for it. But you have to make sure that when you're spreading that love, that kindness, that vibe, that you want to do it in such a way that you're not turning people off. My uncle was every bit of supportive, and I thank him for that. But I do say that in the world now, those that have just found their new vegan stamp of approval, they feel as though they can look down on others. You have to remember, not everybody's living the same life, not everybody's diet's going to be the same, not everybody's pockets are going to be the same. So it is what it is, you know. Just be kind to your neighbor, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, spread great knowledge, be a beacon of resource for those that possibly are inquisitive about what it is that this vegan diet is serving a purpose for you in your life. So just be kind, spread that word, and yeah, I don't want to cheer you guys' ear off too much longer, but hopefully all is well with you, and I have to get back to my mommy duties. Little Den-Den's calling me, but hopefully all is well with you. Please remember to be blessed, well dressed, and not stressed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.